So I think we are now on a section where part of my practice has been taking all of these self-portraits. So these self-portraits have gone alongside everything from the beginning. There's a body of self-portraits. I will show some now. For the most part, they don't show my complete face, right? So this one does not show my complete face. For a long time, they really would not do that, and that was my desire to not necessarily have it be just about me, but it's really not about Kori Newkirk in regards to these self-portraits. And if my complete identity as me is not shown, my thinking is that then I can be almost a surrogate for everybody and anybody, or nobody at the same time. But it ceases to be about the individual and more about something else. Well, that was my goal. I don't know if I was so successful, but we will see. All right, so I guess there are more obscured self-portraits coming, but what we have here is an unobscured self-portrait. I guess I had an opportunity to be in a show about billboards, and I chose to give them a self-portrait with me with a snowball in my mouth. So the image this is from 2010. The image is from 2001. I do remember that, sitting somewhere that it snowed, playing in the snow, and just stuck some snowballs in my mouth and sat in a driveway and took some quick self-portraits that sat around for obviously about 10 years or so until the right opportunity presented itself. And this seemed like the right opportunity, right? So here I am, this giant snowball in my mouth. What I find most fascinating about this is the reaction to this image. The part that freaks me out the most is that it was talked about as if that was a giant ball of cotton, and I was having a conversation about sort of slavery, which really surprised me, because I think if you were to see all the work that preceded this, that is not something that seems as though I would be talking about. Right? And obviously I was not talking about that. So I got a slavery reference and an oral sex reference, and it is really about neither of those things. Right? It's just me with a snowball in my mouth. Perhaps a hello and a wave and a shout out to my Central New York growing upness and lake effect snow, which I'm sure you all understand as well. All right? So also the great thing about this is the day that it went up. Within 2 hours, it looked like this. So the great thing is that whoever my collaborator is here in this, that they were really kind to me and did not obscure the image, but just sort of artfully added their voice as well, which I'm totally down for, right? I mean, I think this is what happens when you put things out in the world. When an artist puts something out in the world, we lose complete control over it. So I can't sort of control anything that happens as soon as that thing that I've made leaves my studio, my site. I can't control how it is interpreted. I can't control who wants to add or take away from it. And I'm okay with that. I think that leads to some great things happening. Yeah, so strange. Oh, here we go. See, we're back to some early weird self-portraits of obscured people. Here I am as a man in Los Angeles at a certain time in the past. This would ideally face a digitized portrait of myself that is a painting, so the sort of squares. I really love watching cops on television, and there was a show called LAPD, Life on the Streets, and I really spent a lot of time trying to figure out what exactly is going on in these television shows and how this works. I was teaching high school at the time in South Central and really spending a lot of time with my students talking about how and where they see themselves represented and what they liked about that, what they didn't like about that. And so my reaction to parts of these conversations and the television show was this piece and the companion piece to it. So in these television shows, the suspect, their identity was obscured in many different ways. So on one of the shows, it was this digital blur, and the other was the sort of pixelated blur. So here, this it's also coded for the time frame of the things that were going on in the country, and particularly in Los Angeles at the time. By coded, I mean the sort of red shirt. The other piece had a blue shirt with the white shirt. So talking about, yeah, I'm not going to get too specific. I think you guys are smart enough to figure that out. Talking about like the things that are, you know, directly going on and how I am either complicit or involved or not involved, or how I can insert myself into a sort of very trying, interesting, fascinating, scary, sad conversation.